Hey, I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to talk to you about hope on the holidays. If you're feeling hopeless and you do not know how you are going to get through the next 10 minutes or the next day, I am glad you've come to my video. Please listen. There is so much hope. And also, I just wanted to include that if you're wanting someone to talk to, please look on my calendar. There's a link in the video description here, and you can click on that to come to my website and my calendar, and you can sign up for just a free 15-minute call with me to connect so I can hear your story and to support you in your withdrawal journey towards healing. And I'm meeting with people one-on-one, so I'd be glad to do that. I'm also just starting groups, so if you're interested in that, you can let me know. So I'm just glad you're here. And I just wanted to share with you how I have come from such a place of severe hopelessness to now really enjoying life. And I wanted to talk to you about that journey and just the things that I have learned and the encouragements I have for you, that there is just so much hope, and it's not always going to be like this. I remember when I was in some of the worst of my withdrawal, it was Christmas, and I was trying so hard to figure out what you do in Christmas and how to behave right, but I could not get myself motivated to engage or enjoy anything. And I felt like I was behind a glass, and I felt like none of it was real or was happening or mattered. It was just that severe anhedonia and hopelessness about my whole situation. And I felt like I was kind of mechanically getting myself to do the bare minimum of things. And it was very, very hard to get myself through any of it. So that was just such a dark time. It was so hard. Each moment felt so hard through the holiday, and it felt hard for it to be a holiday and to still be in that situation, because then you start you're thinking to yourself about all the other holidays or about what a holiday should be like and how you should be feeling. And so here's my encouragement. If you're feeling really, really bad on this holiday, just know this is not your fault. This is just a really horrible thing that has happened to you. And it is not your fault that you are feeling this bad on a holiday. This is just a hard time. And if you're having really bad memories of holidays, or even just guilt that you aren't able to fulfill the normal holiday stuff that other people are asking you to do, just know that you are coming through a really hard suffering, and it's not your fault. And it's okay if you can't do everything that's expected of you right now, and to say no and to have things that you're just not able to show up to is just normal for withdrawal. And it doesn't mean that you're always going to feel this way. One of the things that happens is in withdrawal is it's so persistent, and it's such a long experience compared to other kinds of suffering, that it's hard to have any kind of perspective that it will change. And it does change. It really does. On it, naturally change. Your brain heals. And so you might be like, this is the time of gift giving. This is the time of joy. And I can't experience gift. I can't experience joy. I can't experience hope. I can't experience gratitude. I can't even experience, there was a time I could not even taste food. The anhedonia was so bad. Food was just a texture, and it was awful. It was making myself swallow sand. So that's how bad it was to this point where I am naturally experiencing joy and hope and gratitude and the sparkly warm fuzzies of a holiday, and being around people and making connections and enjoying holiday food, and all of those things are just real again. And it just happened in my healing. It just organically happened. And so I just want to encourage you that that is part of healing, that just naturally the joy of life coming back. And you might feel like that is completely impossible because you're in like such a dark cave of like anhedonia or like depression or anxiety, because in withdrawal we can have all of those symptoms, all those severe like symptoms mimicking depression, anxiety, and then like sleeplessness and intense turmoil over maybe relationships or finances or any of those things. And your life might feel like a nightmare, like the worst possible version of your life or yourself. You're like, I am the worst possible version. You may feel that way, but this is only a season. This is only for a time. This is not all that you are. This is not all that's going to happen in your life. Withdrawal is like a dark tunnel, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is so much more to your life. When I was in some of the darkest times, I remember I would hold on to my faith, my like beliefs. They were like facts, but I couldn't like necessarily feel any joy that they were real or anything. And I'm a Christian, and my faith has been in God, and that He loves me even if I've done horrible things, or even if I feel completely hopeless, or even if I feel worthless, that like God has worth for me, God has hope for me, and that He's entered into the world to give me hope, and that He's entered into suffering to give me hope, and that He came to the world even though He didn't have to, because He wanted a relationship with me, and because He wanted to connect and to enter my suffering and bring me out of it. And so that's like the whole story, the Christian story of Christmas, is that Jesus entered into a suffering world and entered into suffering to bring healing and to bring hope and to bring salvation. And so on Christmas especially, you can feel in withdrawal like very like separated from those ideas, like they're just ideas, but they're not real. But I remember I held on to them as facts. And then in time, though, I've been able to experience the joy of that again, and to connect with my faith, and to connect with those truths as they're real, and to connect with God again and everything. And so if that sounds crazy to you, and like, or you're curious about it, there is like another link in my video description if you're curious about the Christian hope. And I just wanted to share that with you because it helped me come through withdrawal and have hope in God, and also to get closer to what really matters in life. Like one of the verses that's important to me is, what do I gain if I lose my soul and I gain the whole world? That's like my paraphrased version of it. But if I gain the whole world but I lose my soul, what have I really gained? And so the time in withdrawal actually helped me to come closer to what really matters in my faith, and come closer to God, and to deepen my faith, because even in a time where I couldn't experience God, I was able to come closer to Him. And that has really been life-changing for me, is that hope that God loves me even if I can't feel it. And so I want to share that with you, that even if you can't feel it, God cares for you, and God has a hope for you and a future for you. And this is not the end of the line. There is so much healing, and there is so much more in life for you after withdrawal. And even withdrawal can change you and transform you. So please hold on to hope. Please do not despair. There is so much hope, and there is so much healing ahead. And so just know, like this holiday season, if you're feeling it so rough, this isn't all there is. There is so much hope ahead, and there's going to be other holidays where you can really, really feel it. So just know, if you want to meet with me, I'd be happy to meet with you, and know that I am cheering you on for your healing, and there's so much hope.